Okay, so now we're going to jump to Courtney. So Courtney, where are you zooming in from?
I am zooming in from San Diego, California.
Okay, well, welcome.
Thank you.
What's on your mind?
So the business I am starting is a legacy writing business, writing life legacy stories. And I have built my website. I've got my Instagram, slowly just building it, refining it, adding to my social media. And I've done some content writing before for clients and marketing writing. I've done several different kinds of writing. And I've moved away from a lot of that because of just the marketing aspect is icky to me. And for me, it's I think my main question is reaching my ideal clients. And it's so funny that you come out with your little seminar next week, because that's kind of where I'm at. Everyone has a story. Everyone has life stories. I think it's really important to gather stories before and after the end of a life. A lot of this comes from having worked in hospice and in a memorial service type industry. And right now, I'm trying. The ideal client just seems so big to me. It seems so. I to narrow it down feels like it's kind of like the person you mentioned. I want to reach everyone. I want to be able to tell everyone's story and their stories. It's just, how do I reach people right now? How do I get in front of people who are at a time in their life where they're reflecting on their life? Their reflection is heightened, and they're the type of people that would be ready to say, hey, yeah, I'm interested, let's do this. So marketing strategies that are typical just don't seem like they would fit in what I have to offer, basically.
Okay, we got it. So a couple things. How do we reach people? Depends who the people are. That's the very first thing for everybody. There's no such thing as a generic marketing strategy. There's no such thing as just people, number one. People don't exist. There's specific peoples, and then there's no strategy for it. That's number one. Number two, it does have me wonder if your ideal client is the person themselves or people close to them who might be the connection. So I don't know. I mean, did you have any sense?
I offer two different services, and one is post, when someone's already passed. Is to gather stories based on how that person's impacted others. So I go to the others and I gather those stories, and that would be for family members and friends to have. And then on the other end, this is where it gets kind of like you're saying, who am I speaking to the most in this? I'm not sure, because it's valuable to both the person telling the stories in a sense that it offers reflection and something to offer, a legacy to leave behind, etc. But it also is something that I think a lot of family members are interested in when it comes to, having their loved ones' stories. So,
okay, so the ideal client workshop would actually probably be very useful for you. But if you can't make it, here's the. If you go to YouTube, there's a video called 4 Levels of Your Ideal Client. And probably worthwhile for most folks on this call, but here's the Coles notes of what's in that 7-minute video. If you imagine there are 4 different levels ranked from most important to least important. So if you think of it like a target, there's a bullseye, 1 ring, 2 rings, and every ring out is 10 times less important than the preceding ring. So the bullseye, the most important thing is, what's the issue? What are they struggling with? What's the problem? That is overwhelmingly the most, for a service provider. Let me give that proviso. Second ring out, what are the psychographics, meaning the internal things, the internal inside values, the worldview, the scenes, the communities they're a part of. Like vegan is a psychographic. A conspiracy theorist is a psychographic. Conservative is a psychographic. Bernie Sanders fans is a psychographic. You get the idea. The next ring out are the demographics. Those are the external things we can tell. You could hire a detective and discover these things about people. It's their habits, it's age, income, ethnic background, that kind of stuff. And then there's the qualities they have. And the qualities are they're responsible, they're punctual, they're kind, they're generous, that type of thing. So you notice each one out is much less important. So the qualities are like sprinkles on a cake, a few sprinkles. It's just not that big a deal.
Yeah.
The most important thing is the issue. Now you've got the issue, clear enough. So the thing I would really focus on for you are the psychographics. Okay. Like, yeah, there's lots of people out there, but there are probably certain communities or scenes that you resonate with most. You go to Burning Man every summer, and that's my community. A question that's worth asking for everybody is, who's the community you want to be adopted by? Like, if there was one scene or one community that you just wish that they would just take you in and all the people in that scene would, there's the polyamory scene, the kink scene, there's the radical feminist scene, there's the etc. Because if you can be adopted by a scene, you don't need me anymore. I mean, it's just like, you're welcome and enjoy your business success. If you're really adopted by a community, that handles most of it. But then the question is, which community? And it doesn't just have to be one, but it's just a worthwhile thought exercise. So that's the thing I would encourage you to think about. And then if you go on, also on my YouTube, there's go to my playlists and just scroll down until you've got them all. Then just do a find search for the word exercises, and you'll find there's a bunch of exercises around niching, which may also help you refine the issue, but also some of the psychographic situations. Yeah.
Cool. All right.
Yeah. So, because I hope you all get it, the difference between, hey, do you want to leave your legacy, and hey, are you, I don't know, it doesn't even have to be in the headline, but it's like, oh, I really want to work with, people love Bernie Sanders. I love Bernie Sanders, and I'd love to work with. So you just go to those kinds of events, and you talk about what you do, and you start to look for hubs that are both. And of course, the other strategy I'd suggest is that there's all sorts of services for older people. There's empty nesting, retirement coaches, so you can just think about other coaches who help older people become elders and talk about that transition, who help them with the empty nesting, with the retiring, with the what are you going to do with your life next? Because those people would be great. Like, if let's just say you found a coach, there's a whole industry of coaches, I guarantee. I don't know this for sure, but I'm promising you it's true, of retirement coaches. And they have conferences. I bet you they got a newsletter, they got hashtags, they got the whole thing. And if you got adopted by them and you went to their events and like, oh my gosh, she's amazing, she helps them, kind of recap the last year so they're ready to retire, that may just be your whole business. I just finished my 30-day hub marketing program. This is one of the things I kept trying to get across to people. Like, it can be so easy. We try to make it so hard. We think it has to be hard. We think it must be difficult, but actually sometimes you just come up with one category of hubs and that's it. And you actually don't need any more. And you just keep deepening in those relationships. And that gives you all the clients you need. There you go. Thank you so much, Courtney.
Thank you. Appreciate it.